What is going on, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, cats and dogs? We're completely in shock
and mourning.
And mourning. If the audio sounds a little different, we're actually not in the office right now, not in the studio, whatever you want to call it. We are literally in my basement watching. We just got done watching WrestleMania 33, and
my eyes are burning.
It's crazy.
Like, my eyes are so...
Yeah, it's
wow, I'm blown away right now.
Yeah. This is Hardcore Geek Wrestling, and it's a WrestleMania 33 recap, and didn't really know if we were going to be doing the show tonight. We canceled the watch party. Chase, basically lives down the street, so just, came over, watched the show with me, kept me company. And, first of all, the only thing I can really say right now is thank you, Taker.
Thank you, Taker. Honestly, I was 7 years old. My dad took me to the Columbus Convention Center to watch The Undertaker wrestle against Tugboat. And I'll never forget that. It was the first time I ever saw him. That's when he had the body bag, and Paul Bearer was his manager, and he was just larger than life. You're 7, and you see this man who was supposedly 6'10", and just this figure, and really it was fascinating to me as a kid, and growing up with Undertaker. I'm 33 now, and so, really, that's 26 years that I watched this man wrestle?
Oh, yeah.
26 years of my life, this man was in my... on my TV almost every Monday and Thursdays and Fridays and
just dropping
Sundays. It's a death of a legend. It's not literally dead. It's just his career's over.
Yeah. So definitely want to kind of get into everything right here. Obviously tonight we did. For the way that they did everything, the way that everything was laid out.
The set was incredible.
Yeah.
Best set I think I've ever seen.
Well, I'm just saying, it looks like we did witness history. We witnessed the...
It was broken.
We witnessed the end of The Undertaker. So that's... That's crazy, man. It's, I don't know.
It's... Wow, yeah. It's, I'm speechless. I really am, which is... I'm just...
I know you're pretty emotional right now. This is kind of one of those things where, I don't know. Me personally, I kind of thought it was going to happen. I don't want to be like that guy. It's like, yeah, I called it.
I called it, yeah.
But it's just kind of, I don't know.
It was a crazy, from start to finish. For example, I will start with a pre-show match. A really great cruiserweight match. It was incredible. Even my boy Mojo Rawley winning the Battle Royal, and then the first match, the AJ Styles Shane McMahon match, just absolutely delivered. And then you go to that, and then you go to the, Naomi winning in her hometown. That's emotional. And
it was a good WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I can't say anything more. So we're gonna kind of go through it match by match. Let me go ahead and pull up the card, Harry. Or do you have it on your phone? Or
yeah, I got it on my phone. So the first one was the pre-show. If we start with that would be Neville and Austin Aries.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. First of all, anybody, if you guys want to chat in on the show, we are at Spreaker.com/show/Geek Wrestling. Obviously, if you're listening, you're already here. So join the conversation. Let us know what you thought about WrestleMania 33. You can listen live on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube as well. So, just want to make sure we got that out there. First of all, the pre-show was, there were definitely some changes made. We didn't know if there was going to be, the women's match on there until 2 days ago. Then they bumped the SmackDown women's match back, and we kind of thought we were only going to be getting 2 matches. One of those matches was the Cruiserweight Championship between the champion Neville and Austin Aries. They've been really building it up on 205 Live, trying their best to kind of hype it up on Monday Night Raw. And I think it's just kind of like a common thing where people kind of turn their nose up at pre-show matches. It's not like the free-for-all from, the 90s. It's
Correct.
not like we're not getting Quang versus Bart Gunn or some bullshit match like that. No offense to those guys. But, this was an actual championship match. It was in front of a good crowd, so obviously Orlando didn't have the problems that Dallas had last year with getting people through the doors. Yeah, so that's the first thing I noticed. I'm like, wow, like we go to a live shot, and I'm like, wow,
there's people.
It's like this place is pretty much full. So I was happy for Austin Aries. I'm an Austin Aries fan, watching him in Ring of Honor and TNA.
We're both Austin Aries fans.
Yeah, so real cool to kind of see him get a spot at WrestleMania. Nice to see Neville finally get a spot at WrestleMania. He had to miss it last year with an injury, and now he's going in there as Cruiserweight champion. This match was freaking amazing,
I would agree. Because I was on my way here, and I was watching on YouTube, and it was.
Talk about daredevils. Chase was probably the ultimate daredevil watching this match while driving. We highly don't recommend anyone ever doing that. Never. Don't ever do that. But, man, there was a spot where Neville got flipped out of the ring where he landed on his feet, but then landed right on his tailbone. It was it really seemed like a bad bump there.
Yeah.
Saw I think him and Aries really click,
And they do. Aries is just awesome, and honestly, they've had great promos against each other. Aries is, I think, him going to 205 Live has been a spark for the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, Neville with great heel tactics.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So yeah. Gronk was sitting in the front row.
That was crazy. So we saw a lot of crazy German suplexes from Neville. Awesome 450 splash from.
It was great. The matches all around were amazing. Honestly, I can't really say too much of a bad thing. I think we were spoiled. The match was a spoiler. It really delivered.
Oh yeah, on all facets. All signs pointed to Austin Aries getting the title, but that was not to be. While in the middle of the last chancery, playing off of his injury, Neville kind of scraped the injured eye socket, and then was able to get Aries down, and then hit him with the red arrow, a perfect red arrow, and Neville retains the Cruiserweight title right here on the pre-show. Let's go to the Battle Royal. So, the Battle Royal, it seemed like it went by really fast.
It did.
Everybody kind of got, the jobber entrance. No offense to anybody in there, but,
And then, except for Big Show.
Except for Big Show, and I think, did Mark Henry get a entrance, or was it just Big Show?
I believe it was just Big Show.
And Braun Strowman. So, my pick originally was Braun Strowman.
That was mine, too.
And just the way they were building him up. And first of all, thank you, Big Show, as well.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is his final WrestleMania. I don't think it's his final match, but I think his contract is up at some point this year, and I think he's going to, just ride off into the sunset there. And Big Show. Obviously, originally he was going to be going against Shaq. That didn't fall. That didn't happen. Rumors were that Shaq just didn't want to do the conditioning, I guess he's really out of shape. I don't know if that's the thing. He's doing
screw you, Shaq.
Doing too many Icy Hot commercials. But Big Show and Braun actually got eliminated relatively early. Really? I remember looking in the match, and I'm like, how is Primo?
Primo was out first.
One Epico or whatever the fat one is, lasted longer than Braun Strowman and
the official. So here's actually the official results of that were
okay. Go.
And the Battle Royal, we had the first person out was your boy Primo, followed by Kalisto, then Simon Gotch. Heath Slater, who has kids.
So everybody who's getting fired, basically.
I think they'll keep Slater around. They need a jobber. Jey Uso. Goldust, who actually was wearing probably the coolest ring outfit.
Yeah, it was like a throwback to his old 90s gear.
Connor from the Ascension. And then Big Show. And then Victor from the Ascension. And then Braun Strowman. Then you had Kurt Hawkins, who is Kurt Hawkins. Then R-Truth. And then Rhino, who probably will get fired. He'll be the guy that gets fired, probably.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't really done anything with him since the dropping the tag titles.
Aiden English, probably getting fired. Curtis Axel, he might be saved because of who his dad is.
Well, and Curtis Axel actually did a lot of work with Goldberg, kind of getting him ready for the WrestleMania matches and whatnot.
So they'll keep him. Jimmy Uso, Jason Jordan, and Chad Gable. They need a makeover. Tyler Breeze and Fandango. Those still have a job. Sin Cara probably is going to get fired unless they keep him on 205. Mark Henry. And then that Chinese guy, Tian Bing. Epico, who actually lasted quite a long time.
Yeah, like what the hell, man? Seriously.
Bo Dallas sporting a beard.
Yeah, and I remember I'm like, I didn't know. I was trying to figure out who this person was, and it was like just, it looks like he dropped a lot of weight, and he's wearing an all black singlet, no designs, and just like a real dark, like Wyatt family beard, I guess you can say. And it's like, holy shit, that's Bo. It's kind of weird. Who else do we have?
Apollo Crews was after that.
I love Apollo, but they got to turn him heel or send him back down to NXT.
Dolph Ziggler, who you were like, please God, get eliminated early.
I used to love Dolph Ziggler. I can't stand him anymore. I don't know why. I just can't stand Dolph Ziggler.
Luke Harper. Mm-hmm. And then Titus O'Neil, which probably should have been eliminated in the first four.
I know you don't like Titus. You personally don't like Titus.
Sami Zayn, who I was a surprise got eliminated later on. I thought for sure he was going to win it. Killian Dane, who did spectacular.
Big Damo.
And then it was a final two of Jinder Mahal, who still looks jacked, and Mojo Rawley. And our boy Mojo won it.
Yeah, with an appearance from Rob Gronkowski. And this is kind of a weird situation because it's like at one point we're like, Jinder Mahal might win this whole thing, It kind of looked like that for a minute, like he was going to get that sneaky flip over the rope move right after Mojo eliminated Killian Dane. But that was not to be the case. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll see something with Mojo going on. Obviously, Zack Ryder's kind of working on his rehab and getting back. So, the Hype Bros are obviously on a hiatus, if not broken up. Maybe we'll see good old Mojo in the maybe in the IC title picture. I'd be cool with that. So, let's move on. Speaking of the IC title.
Yes.
Good segue. This one was kind of weird. I didn't know that they were moving the IC championship match.
I don't think anybody knew that.
No, not until they're like, all right, let's go back down to the ring. Intercontinental Championship match is up. So they moved the IC title between champion Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin to the pre-show. I don't know how true these rumors are. Someone said that Dean was hammered at the Hall of Fame, and they kind of moved it to the pre-show. I don't know how much of a punishment that would be because he still went over. If it was a true punishment, I think that
he would have lost it.
He would have lost the belt on the pre-show. This was an okay match. It wasn't like, didn't blow me away. But Dean Ambrose did get the win over Baron Corbin. I wasn't expecting that at all.
I don't think anybody was.
No, I think Baron Corbin had a lot of momentum going in.
It was a 10-minute and 55-second match. It actually lasted less than the Cruiserweight and the 33-man Battle Royal.
That's crazy.
33-man Battle Royal was almost a 15-minute long match.
Yeah, that's crazy. So those are our three pre-show matches. I mean, obviously the Cruiserweight title was the the cornerstone there. It was the gem, the diamond in the rough, if you will.
15 minutes and 40 seconds it took.
That's right. So moving on to the main show,
we had your boy AJ Styles.
AJ Styles
wearing a really sweet looking tight set of those red, white, and blue.
Yeah, he's got some new gear going against Shane McMahon. Shane didn't bring his kids to the ring this time. They were all, looking silly on the ringside area. But this match was kind of weird because the whole thing was like, okay, this is going to be a technical match. It's a regular match.
Yeah, nobody knew who was going to win.
Yeah, and anybody who's seen like Shane McMahon matches in the past, you look at matches with like him and like Big Show, him and Kurt Angle, Undertaker. They've always had like some kind of weird stipulation where they can use a little bit of smoke and mirrors, where they can have weapons and
Ambulance
whatnot.
match.
Ambulance match. Forgot about that one. And this one, that was kind of like the story going in, where AJ's like, hey, you don't have your weapons to rely on. This is a wrestling match. I got your number. And to Shane's credit, the match kind of started slow. It's definitely telling a story. And then we moved to some spots outside the ring. We saw Shane get like drop kicked over the announce table.
Yeah.
And then we saw him try to do an elbow to AJ, and he completely missed and went through. Looked like he kind of hurt his shoulder, but he was all right. We saw him block the phenomenal forearm and turn it into a swinging DDT, whatever you will. Saw a real sick Styles clash where he was kind of coming out of AJ was coming out of a submission hold. And he kind of it was almost like a one-armed Styles clash. Like he got it like halfway done, What do you think about the coast-to-coast spots?
It was like RVD 2.0. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I love that stuff, though.
So the whole thing, there was a couple ref bumps. Ref got knocked out by AJ. And was it Shane or was it AJ that went outside and got...
That was Shane.
It was a Shane who went outside, got a garbage can. And then they turn it around where, AJ got the upper hand. Then he was going to do the whole coast-to-coast thing. And mid-coast-to-coast, Shane, catches AJ with the...
No, it's AJ. It was AJ.
The trash can. Yeah. And then Shane sets him up and then hits a picture-perfect coast-to-coast. Pretty much almost overshot him, actually. And got a 2 count. Did an attempt of a shooting star press, which was very impressive, actually. AJ moves, hits the phenomenal forearm, and that's it, man. AJ Styles finally gets a WrestleMania win. I say finally, like he's lost a whole bunch of times, but that's how much I love AJ Styles. So I'm happy that he got a win, even though, in my opinion, it was kind of a silly match. Hope we can kind of just move on from this. And
Shane he gets his title shot now against Randy Orton.
There you go. He gets a title shot against Randy Orton. Spoiler alert, obviously. What is next here? What do we have coming up?
After that was the U.S. title match between Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho.
Okay.
Which came in at 16 minutes and 20 seconds with Kevin Owens winning.
Kevin Owens did win there. What did you think of the entrance from Jericho?
Amazing, because Jericho's awesome, and I now want to buy a lighted up scarf.
So we have a giant blow up looking list of Jericho. Jericho comes to the ring and he has this scarf, and I didn't notice this till he got in the ring, but it was a light up scarf, so kind of like a tribute to his old jacket, I guess. This match was really, really good. It was a flawless match as far as in ring. Told a good story, and Kevin Owens did get the 1-2-3 on Chris Jericho, new U.S. champion. I kind of came out of nowhere too, because he hit the ringside, like the apron powerbomb, and just rolled him in. I thought Jericho was going to kick out, but that was not the case. We got a new U.S. champion, so yay. What's next?
After that was speaking of which, real quick, I think Jericho, though, is now going to go with Fosse. That's what.
Yeah, I think he's going to be taking a little bit of time off. I did hear that too. So it's cool, Totally get it.
All right, checking in at 12 minutes and 45 seconds, the women's match.
This is the Raw Women's Championship match, Fatal 4-Way, between Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and your defending champion, Bayley. I really dug the Sasha Banks entrance.
Yeah.
Really cool there. Charlotte had a great entrance too.
Very old school.
With the a lot of pyro.
Pyro, yeah.
Crazy amount of pyro. And
I thought for sure she was winning because she was on last and she had all the cool pyro.
Yeah, and they put the champ out first, Bayley, and I know that was kind of like an old thing. Like I think when we were kids, like if the champion comes out first, they usually lose, and I know like that's like the first thing you said. You're like, oh, she's losing tonight. And I'm like, maybe it could be. But Nia Jax was eliminated first. Sasha Banks got eliminated kind of like out of nowhere. Yeah. I guess she did a roll up, and then Charlotte kicked out, and I thought she just hit the turnbuckle, but they played it off like she hit the metal casing of the turnbuckle, and she got pinned there. And then Bayley actually got the win, not with the Bayley to belly, but like a Macho Man elbow. Come to realize that it's 30 years since Macho Man and Ricky Steamboat, so
was a phenomenal match.
It is one of the greatest matches of all time, So Bayley is still your women's champion. I enjoyed the match. I thought it would have gone a little bit longer. It seemed like it was a little rushed. One of my favorite spots was Charlotte did a corkscrew moonsault to the outside, completely scared the crap out of me for one, but. It was really good. Sasha Banks obviously doing her planches, which was great. Nia Jax acting like that powerhouse like she should, and still looking strong because it took the other 3 girls to eliminate her. And then, of course, Bayley. I'm happy about Bayley. I know you don't like her because she's a Golden State fan, but all of her friends in California, I still love Bayley.
She didn't acknowledge and say hello to me when they came here once either.
So Chase has got legitimate beef with Bayley, but
I think she blocked me on Twitter.
Maybe you guys will hug it out one day. Who knows? What's next?
Next, we had the most exciting tag match in a long time.
Is this the titles?
This is for the tag titles.
So, okay.
The Raw ones.
For one, I don't pop out of my seat or go nuts or anything like that, especially if I'm watching it at home. I'll be like, wow, that was really cool. I'll tweet about it, or I'll call some friends, tell my wife, hey, look who's on TV, right? So before whatever happened, I was excited for this match, especially when they announced it was a ladder match. I love my Good Brothers, and I have slowly but officially become a huge Sheamus fan.
I love Sheamus.
And I love Enzo and Cass. Yeah. So I would have been okay with that. So after everybody makes their entrances,
all of a sudden the New Day's music hits.
New Day comes out, and here's where it kind of is like a swerve. They're in their gear. Yeah. They got their shirts off. Kofi's slowly taking off his hat, and they're like, hey, there's going to be one more team in this battle royal, or in this match. And I'm thinking, I know what I want.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that it's going to be they're going to put themselves in because they're the hosts of the night. Absolutely not. My prayers have been answered. Everybody's prayers were answered. The fucking Hardy Boys are back. So, kudos to Michael Cole. What he said? He said things are about to get broken around here, and people are chanting delete. Matt actually pointed out to each one of the teams and just did the delete. All right, we're going to delete you. This comes off of last night. The Hardys were at Supercard of Honor 11, and they dropped the Ring of Honor tag team titles to the Young Bucks. They did some crazy trolling where they said that they were going to be staying in Ring of Honor, but there was some news that there was a WWE car going to be picking them up today. So,
yeah.
But I mean, you can put a picture of a car outside of a building anywhere and just say it is what it is. I don't believe it till I see it. But quick note is that they come out to their old music.
Yep. Their amazing old music theme.
Yeah. There's still, Matt still got the white streak in his hair. He's kind of still making the mannerisms of Broken Matt, but obviously it's really on the DL. Jeff Hardy's just Jeff Hardy now. Yeah. He's not Broken Jeff or Brother Nero. But this flipping match.
Crazy.
I mean, not just...
You panicked when he went up that 20-foot ladder.
Here's the thing, I know, I saw the spots from last night at Ring of Honor, and Jeff really got banged up. There was a spot where Sheamus and Cesaro are on the 2 ladders that are kind of bridge between the ring and the barricade. So all of a sudden, I see this 20-foot ladder. I flash back to 2001 WrestleMania X7
or Invasion
Invasion in Cleveland. But
was it when JR goes, how do you learn to fall off a 20-foot ladder?
Yeah, so I see that. First of all, this comes right after we get a Twist of Fate off the ladder from Matt Hardy, which was awesome. Not to mention, Sheamus and Cesaro are phenomenal in this match.
Yeah.
Utilizing the ladders. You could tell a lot of these guys, I don't think any of them were in ladder matches before.
No. They felt comfortable. Well, Sheamus was in the ladder match. He was in. He won the Money in the Bank.
Oh, he
match.
was. Yeah.
And Cesaro's been in a Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah, I guess it's not what they're really known for.
Yeah.
You know, there was a real nice spot with Cesaro or not Cesaro with Enzo being like gorilla pressed over the top rope and landing on everybody, but when Jeff Hardy climbed up that damn ladder and he takes off the shirt, it's like, oh god, he's gonna do the fucking swanton. Yeah. And he does it like the scariest way, where he literally stands on the top of a ladder, like not on like the rung, on the top of the fucking ladder, does the swanton through the ladders, lands it. Like the Cesaro's ladder broke.
Yeah.
Sheamus not so lucky. And then we look up, and then Matt Hardy grabs the Raw Tag Team titles. We got new Raw Tag Team champions, and it's the freaking Hardys. It's 2017. This is not... Don't adjust your sets.
Crazy, man.
10 years ago, they were the Tag Team champions after WrestleMania. They won them from Cena and Michaels.
I remember that. You know where I was at?
You were there.
I was there.
Yeah.
I was there.
And
it was crazy.
And it's like, now we're going to be... I can't wait for Raw. Yeah. And that's just for that reason alone. They got a standing ovation from the crowd.
I'll never forget when they won those tag titles, because Cena basically turned on Michaels, and it was literally like they literally had like every tag team imaginable was wrestling that night.
Yeah. So that was really good. I really hope to see some more interactions between them, the New Day, the club, obviously Enzo and Cass. I think that would be great. And then Sheamus and Cesaro. I think that... So I think you were like kind of worried, like, well, it's going to kill the momentum for Enzo and Cass. I think what it does is just breathes a little bit more life into the Raw Tag division. So,
True. So
there's that. So new tag champs. What do we got next?
Next was our mixed tag match.
Okay, so this one...
That was one of the shortest matches. It was actually the third shortest match of the night at 9 minutes and 40 seconds.
It really was. I had to... I did desperately go to the bathroom, so I missed most of the entrances here. Missed like the beginning. I did notice that Miz was getting a lot of good pops. Like they were cheering for the Miz, booing Cena. I mean, what else is new other than them cheering the Miz? I thought that the Miz and Maurice would have gotten the win, considering what happened after. But yeah, like you said, real quick match. Cena and Nikki kind of basically dominated. Didn't see a lot of action from Maurice, which was kind of
expected.
Yeah, but the thing is, she's used to wrestle full time, so I don't know. Maybe she's not ready to go yet, and they just kind of faked it a little bit. Nice suicide dive from Nikki Bella out to the ring, taking out the Miz. That was actually a real cool spot. And then we got the double, the AA, and the new Rack Attack, I guess. I don't know what her new move's called. It's basically a TKO. I think she's just calling it TKO, and John Cena and Nikki Bella defeat the Miz and Maurice.
And then John Cena gets on one knee and asks Nikki to be his wife.
Yeah, John Cena does propose.
With a ring from Tiffany & Co.
Yeah.
So if you want to make sure you have a woman that lasts forever, you buy her Tiffany & Company ring.
Yeah, I swear to God, they're not our sponsors, but, there's that. But
I hope. Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like, he did it. It was really nice how he did it. I think my friend Jess, she said that she spotted Cena's mom in the front row, so he kind of saw it coming.
Yeah.
And, when he used her shoot name, that it was definitely legit. So, John Cena and Nikki Bella get engaged. I think Nikki Bella's going to be retiring, or at least taking some extended time off. John Cena's going to be taking some time off as well. So, yeah. Congrats to them. Happy for them. Nice moment.
So that was the third shortest match. By the way, the third longest match was the AJ Styles Shane McMahon match.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay.
Which segments our way into the longest match of the night, even though technically it wasn't really a non-sanctioned match.
Okay, so Triple H and Seth Rollins. Can we talk about the entrances?
Okay, Triple H has the best entrances every year, pretty much for the most part.
So this match was basically Sons of Anarchy versus Game of Thrones. Triple H comes out on this like crazy, I don't know what kind of motorcycle it is, but crazy motorcycle. Stephanie's on the back, all leather, looking super hot.
Muffy, yeah.
Triple H's got like this crazy like leather vest thing, and just looks like just a badass. It's Triple H, right? Seth Rollins comes out dressed in all gold. His like entrance vest kind of looks like a chainmail armor because he's the Kingslayer. Comes out with a torch, and the walkway was all digitized, so you could put like whatever kind of designs you want. It looks like he lit, like he basically burnt the bridge, so symbolism, burned a bridge between him and Triple H. And first of all, I guess people kind of died down after this, especially after the Hardys, especially after the John Cena Nikki Bella engagement. And I think you had a friend there who was saying that it was kind of quiet during this match. Yeah. I enjoyed the match, A, because I love Triple H, and B, big Seth Rollins fan, and I was invested in the story.
Exactly.
They really played off the injury.
Exactly.
They were very smart with what they did. A lot of kickouts, false finishes. We saw a Falcon Arrow, or a superplex and then a Falcon Arrow, one of my favorite spots from Seth Rollins. We saw a Phoenix Splash, Buckle Bomb. We saw a table spot with Stephanie McMahon going through the table, crazy, and then Seth Rollins actually getting the win with the pedigree. Not too much weapon usage in this match for being unsanctioned.
Very true.
But it was all right. I mean, it wasn't like 5 stars or anything. I'll give it like 4 stars. I thought we were going to get a run-in from Samoa Joe. We didn't get that, and we didn't get a return from Balor. But, that's what Monday Night Raw is for, I guess, right?
Exactly.
So, pretty decent match. What do we have from here?
After that, they came into probably the disappointing match of the night, the Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about this.
And this match was only a 10-minute and 30-second title match.
Super short. And so this match goes on. Bray Wyatt, obviously, always good, cool entrance. Randy Orton had a pretty cool entrance, too. Like, they had the digitized Viper, like, following him to the ring. And then things just got really weird. Randy Orton is pretty much a straightforward technical wrestler.
Kind of boring.
Yeah, it can be boring sometimes. It actually started off really hot. Like, he was kind of going into his comeback where he was hitting, like, all of his clotheslines, the snap power slam. And then, they were using this weird, like, projector effect on the ring where it looked like the whole ring was filled with, like, giant maggots and worms and, cockroaches and stuff like that. And it would just happen randomly during the match. And I'll say it was a real cool effect. Like, it kind of freaked me out.
It's kind of gross, but it was awesome.
Super gross, right? And, you kind of look at it and it's like, okay, well, Bray Wyatt's, this magical being or whatever bullshit it is. And I love Bray. So I'm thinking, like, Bray's going to get the win. And then, as the t-shirt says, we get an RKO out of nowhere. Yeah. After multiple Sister Abigails, we saw our RKO on the outside of the ring. But Randy Orton is your new WWE champion. It's just kind of weird. I don't know. Did Vince lose a bet to Randy or something like that? Or
probably he had to. I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of people were disappointed. Honestly,
I don't mind Randy as champion. I wasn't ready for Bray's reign to end. That's really what it was.
Yeah, I think a lot of people weren't.
And there's rematch clauses. We'll see what happens. But real weird match, super creepy match. But Randy Orton's your new WWE champion. From here, is this where we have the shitty Pitbull performance?
That would be where we have the shitty Pitbull. The bathroom concert of the night.
So, like, I don't know, man. I'm not against musical performances at a WrestleMania.
Lunch Money Lewis.
Unless they're... Here's the thing. I prefer them if they are playing a wrestler to the ring. Like when Motorhead would play Triple H in the ring. Or like Randy Orton, Rev Theory played him to the ring in like WrestleMania 30. Stuff like that. And it makes sense. But when you have... And no offense to any Pitbull fans, but like... it just sucked, man. I'm sorry. You see, like, Pitbull come out and try to do his Mr. Worldwide bullshit with 1,000,001 dancers. Nobody gives a shit. People are booing him. And then this rapper comes out, looks like King Mabel. Yeah. And it's just, it just sucked. I don't know. I was lightweight offended, Yeah.
Lunch Money Lewis.
Lunch Money Lewis. Looks like he stole a lot of lunch money from people.
Yeah.
I don't know. So now that
I'll tell you who stole those damn lunches. It was a damn Sasquatch.
So stupid. It was just... And then Flo Rida comes out, which is...
And he lip syncs.
It's the worst. So...
Yeah.
What actually do we have after this?
We've had our Universal Championship match, which was our shortest match of the night as expected.
But let me say this, okay? First of all, cool entrance from Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah.
Goldberg. The one thing I noticed about Goldberg when he came out, he did his stand in the fire and then do his growling and kicking. But then he started looking around at the arena, and you can tell it was like, holy shit, this is a lot of people. And it was almost like, I don't know if he looked nervous or looked like...
It was a nervous thing.
It was like, wow, this is... I don't think he was ready, and I expected how many people he was going to be in front of. So,
which is weird because he played professional football and collegiate football.
Yeah, but I think it's different. And also, it's been a while, This match...
people were booing him.
Yeah, they were booing him at first, and then eventually, 30 seconds later, they were chanting his name. But,
and then they booed him again.
So this match starts off immediately with Brock hitting multiple German suplexes. Brock gets up, turns around, and immediately gets hit with a really sick spear. And I enjoyed that.
That was his best spear of the night.
Yeah. And then I think he hit Brock with one more spear, and then Brock fell out of the ring. He hits him with a third spear and sends him through the barricade. It looks like Goldberg hit his head on one of the metal grates or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know the word I'm looking for. Metal structure. And then he throws him in the ring. Brock gets the upper hand and suplexes him a whole bunch more times, kicking the crap out of each other. One of my favorite spots is Goldberg goes for the spear again, and Brock leapfrogs him. I've never seen Brock jump that high before.
Yeah, that was incredible.
And Goldberg hits the turnbuckle pretty damn hard, I gotta say, and gets hit with I think 10 more suplexes.
Yeah, 10 suplexes total. Yeah,
and then
because there's a guy in the front row that was counting them.
And then hits a second F5. First of all, Brock kicked out of the jackhammer.
Yeah.
And then Goldberg, did he kick out of the first F5, right?
Yeah.
Or did he, I don't know if he hit two or if he just one. But
no, he didn't kick out of the F5. He actually only had to do one F5.
He only had to do one F5. Okay, so Brock kicks out of the jackhammer, hits him with an F5, and your new Universal Champion is Brock Lesnar. The crowd went absolutely nuts for Brock Lesnar. Brock was... I've never seen the man smile so much.
Yeah.
He seemed like he had a lot of fun with that. And it was kind of one of those things where he was walking back to the locker room and he's fist bumping fans. It's like, so is Brock a face now?
He's a face.
I'm cool with that. I don't care. I'm happy with it. It was definitely better than obviously their last few matches, and then a lot better than the WrestleMania 20 match. Even though it was shorter, they did what they needed to do with their limited offense.
Exactly.
So I'm happy with that. I think we have, 2 more matches after this?
Then we immediately jumped into our second shortest match of the night, the 6-pack challenge for the Women's SmackDown Championship. The ladies got their spots, and I thought for sure it would have been cool to give to Mickie James to get 7, but it is what it is.
Yeah, she's she'll stick around, but real cool entrance from Alexa Bliss, and obviously Naomi, hometown girl.
When she did that, yeah.
Yeah, this was the. I was really worried they were going to bump it. I'm glad they didn't. I was entertained. It was fast paced. It was the everybody get your shit in match. We saw James Ellsworth even get in there and get beat up by Becky Lynch, so that was kind of rewarding. And then I saw a new submission hold from Naomi. I never saw that move. Is that something she's been using, or is that new?
I think she is trying to use it originally.
Okay. But yeah, I don't know what the name of the move is or how to even describe it. It's kind of like just some weird neck lock thing. But Alexa Bliss taps, and we got a new 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion, Naomi, winning it in her hometown. A nice feel-good moment. Hammer, I know you're happy about that. I know you texted me, so yeah, congratulations, sir. And we go into our main event, right?
We go into our main event, which had great entrances.
Yeah, nobody likes Roman. Let's just go ahead and get it out there.
Yeah.
I don't mind Roman. I'm gonna come out and you guys probably blow me up on Twitter and hate me for saying that. I don't mind Roman. I don't hate Roman. I think the Roman's good. But the constant thought was, this freaking ramp is so big. How's Taker going to get down there? It's going to take him forever. Kind of pulled a rib on all of us. Where he, about 20 feet away from the ring, he comes up from the bottom just coming up from hell, I guess, right?
Exactly.
New jacket, is a typical Undertaker entrance, fire, smoke, lightning, all that fun stuff.
Wow.
And this match...
let's just put it this way. This match has been over now for over an hour, and they still have his ring gear. There's a picture, and he still has his hat, gloves, and everything. They're still working around the ring. It's still in the ring.
We'll have to talk about that. So this match was immediately changed to a no disqualification match. And I think that the reason they did that was, again, smoke and mirrors. I mean, Taker is banged up. Roman is a brawler. He even said it himself. He's like, hey, I'm not the most technical wrestler. I'm a brawler, Said on Jericho's podcast. And I think it was decent for what they were working with. First of all, Jim Ross is back.
That's just great.
That was wonderful. He got very emotional. You could tell when he was walking to the ring.
And there was kind of once you realized it was JBL, Jim Ross, and Michael Cole, you knew something was different about this match.
Exactly. And then
because there's all these rumors going around that this was Taker's last. All of a sudden, like today, I was like, "This is Taker's last match." Taker's last match. I'm thinking, well, there was no announcement of Taker's last match.
Yeah, it wasn't like they weren't even alluding to it, other than Roman saying, "I'm going to retire the Undertaker." I mean, how many people have said that? You know. But I say so many times. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But the Undertaker and Roman Reigns, we saw some choke slams on the table. We saw...
it was a pretty violent match.
Yeah, Taker throwing him out, saying, get out of my yard. I love that. It just reminded me of, you ever see Gran Torino with Clint Eastwood? Yeah.
Get out of my yard.
That's what reminds me of that. The real cool spot was Roman spearing Taker through the table. Basically spiked himself. Got a little worried about him. And from here we saw a lot of chair shots. It was real brutal. It was just
a brutal match, man. It was.
We saw Roman kick out of a last ride, choke slam onto a chair, kick out of a tombstone. From there, there was a botch spot. That was the only spot I could say it was botched. They tried to do the tombstone backflip reversal thing, and I think it's a botch on both guys. Roman really couldn't get a handle of it, and I don't think Undertaker made the rotation.
True.
As well. So that's the only botch I seen. It'll probably just be edited out in the future. But
it was. You got to think you got a 52-year-old guy and
with replaced hip, knees. Everything. Dude's banged up,
This was it was the second longest match of the night.
Yeah, it was a decent match. It told the story. Roman, I think it took 5 spears, and the Undertaker kept kicking out. Towards the end, and you got the whole Roman telling him to stay down as he's beating him up with the chair.
I think you knew it was over when he tried to do the pull up, the pop up, and it was a failed one. That's when you knew it was over.
When he tried to do the Undertaker tried to sit up, and he kind of fell over. And then I think Roman still hit him with a spear, but he still kicked out. But there was a point where Taker's on his knees, and he's saying something to Taker, and I got to play it back. I don't know what he was saying.
Yeah.
And the look on Roman's face was dude, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I don't want to be I don't want the burden of putting the Undertaker out. But Roman hits this crazy, I'm going to call it the Ultimate Warrior spear, where he runs the ropes, ducks, hits the other ropes, goes back, and then
because Taker used to kind of do that too. He used to kind of not do a spear, but he used to kind of run the ropes like that.
But it was a massive spear. It was I think it was the 5th spear.
Yeah.
And the Undertaker was defeated by
silent.
by Roman Reigns. They booed the shit out of Roman for a little while.
Yeah.
But Roman, to his credit, he gets a lot of shit. Gets a lot of shit from everybody. And he, to his credit, he left the ring, left it to the Undertaker. They did the whole, all the fireworks and get a picture of Roman in front of the WrestleMania set. looking pretty badass, in my opinion. Yeah. You know, this might be an unpopular thing to say, but it's one of those things where I kind of thought it was going to be happening.
Yeah.
Especially when this was going on main event. And if it's not Cena, I think Roman should have been the guy.
Oh, yeah.
I think so. It's definitely, you know, people are going to hate him for a while, but that's definitely some heat that you can work with, in my opinion. Especially going in with Brock Lesnar being the Universal Champ. Guess what? You're the only two guys that beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You know? Let's talk about the big thing here. This is after the match. And this is something they usually don't do. They usually just black out on the winner of the main event, and then, all right, we'll see you on Monday Night Raw. Good night, everybody. You know, but we didn't get that.
Yeah.
We got a couple replays. We got The Undertaker sitting up. Undertaker did something really kind of uncharacteristic, and he
was about to leave the ring.
Yeah, and then he put his jacket and hat back on.
Yeah.
It was for a long time.
That's what he did, and then he was going to go leave the ring.
Yeah, and then you know, he's staring at the crowd for a very long time. And then this is it's symbolic of a fighter. What he does is he takes his gloves off slowly, leaves them in the ring, takes his jacket off, folds it up very nicely, puts it with the gloves, and then slowly, very slowly, takes off his hat for the final time.
And does the eye roll.
Does the eye roll. Puts the hat on his gloves and his jacket. Slowly,
you can tell he got emotional.
Yeah, you can tell he's very emotional. Slowly leaves the ring, and a real touching moment. He walks over, and this is, you never see this with the Undertaker. Walks over to his wife Michelle McCool, who's in the front row, gives her a kiss, and that's it. And then he walks out and goes back down his little trap door.
Trap door, yeah. Raises his arm up in the air.
And then
he does the old famous, they do that, the lightning thing, and it shows with the fire.
Yes.
But he raises his arm up, and he keeps it up until he goes down.
Exactly. And then a classy little thing that WWE did is the lights went out, they hit 3 gongs, and that was it. And that we witnessed, if I mean, I don't know. We saw all the wrestlers on Twitter saying thank you, Taker.
Goldust said thank you. Dana Brooks has said thank you, Taker. I think everybody in wrestling has said.
We witnessed the end of The Undertaker, which I love The Undertaker. Undertaker, when I got into wrestling, obviously I'm a big comic book nerd, so The Undertaker was like my guy then, because he was like the closest thing. He was like the supernatural character, you know, all this stuff. So, I mean, The Undertaker was the reason I got into pro wrestling.
I mean, even Hideo Itami is like, thank you, Taker.
Exactly. I don't think they've ever touched. You know? But it's just a guy that you respect. And it may not be a popular thing to say, but you could tell with his last few matches, he was starting to maybe break down a little bit, you know? And he's in better shape than most 30-year-olds. Not to say he's out of shape, but he's had a lot of injuries. And the matches may not be at the best quality. I think the last match that was a match with Taker where I'm like, this guy's invincible, was probably the CM Punk match. Yeah. And that was, 4 years ago?
Yeah, 4 years ago now.
And since then, he's had, I believe, hip replacement, knee replacements. He's gotten knocked out by Lesnar. You know, it's just... you know, if we had our way, Undertaker would be wrestling forever and ever and ever, and be the, you know, he'd be the superhero that he is. You know.
You know, it's here's official one. Ric Flair tweets, "My man Taker, the biggest star in the history of WWE, goes out in style like he always does. You make us all look weak in comparison."
Yeah, and so yeah, I mean, as sad as it is to see what happened, you know, we witnessed history tonight at WrestleMania 33. WrestleMania 33 as a whole, I want to say is an A+. You know, there wasn't really any crazy dud matches.
No.
We saw returns. We saw title changes that need to happen. We saw swerves, and we saw a history-making moment.
True.
You know, I mean, it sounds kind of weird, like two dudes just talking about pro wrestling. It's an emotional thing. But it's like the same thing. If you're watching Game of Thrones and like your favorite character dies, and you get a little emotional about it. If
Exactly.
you see those shirts with Walking Dead, like if Daryl dies, then we riot. So it's kind of like that same essence. I'm proud to say that I was a little emotional watching that. And I'm really interested to see Raw tomorrow night, to see if we get an actual send-off. And I want to see what happens with the Hardys, Kevin Owens. I want to see what happens with Roman Reigns. I'm really interested to see what happens with Roman Reigns.
I'm really kind of curious to see what they do. I'm hoping that we get some kind of preview in the next 8 hours and say, hey, here's what's happening on Raw.
Yeah. We'll go from there. But
it's been a long... It was a long pay-per-view.
It was a long pay-per-view. It's WrestleMania. We're kind of accustomed to it.
It was worth it, man.
Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts before we cut this episode off?
26 years, man. 26 years of a career. Incredible career. I think you have to put Taker now next year in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I can see that. I can... Yeah. I mean, I think he's so selfless, though. He'd be a guy that's like, he'd fight it tooth and nail. Like, no, there's other people before me that deserve it. But, Taker's absolutely a first ballot Hall of Famer. Hey, put him back. It's going to be in New Orleans. It's where the streak was broken. Have Brock Lesnar induct him.
Yeah.
Or Ted DiBiase, who was his first manager.
Ted DiBiase would be amazing.
Who would you rather have induct or who you do? I know who they're going to have do it. It's going to be Vince McMahon himself.
Yeah.
It'll be Vince, just like he did with Austin. And, I don't know.
And Andre the Giant.
Yeah. So,
it'd be Vince.
We'll see what happens. Obviously, WrestleMania 33. I know we're kind of we're just spent, but
it's exhausted. But it was an emotional, man. That Taker match just was emotional.
Yeah.
AJ Styles, I really hope on Tuesday night comes out and gets his title shot and wins it.
Yeah, that would be pretty badass. And
AJ is awesome.
Another thing to look forward to, we got potential call-ups from the NXT.
Correct.
And then also maybe some possible returns and some swerves. I heard we're going to be getting a draft coming up soon, so we're going to really shake things up a bit, as like Vince McMahon likes to say. So, So as always, guys, I do want to thank you all for all your listens, your downloads, your subscriptions. As always, you can check us out on iTunes. We are at hardcoregeekcast.com, on Facebook and Twitter. We're going to be at Geek Podcast, and then also at Geek Wrestling on the Twitter, and HC Geekcast for Hardcore Geekcast on Twitter as well. Chase, where can we find you online?
Twitter, Chase M262, and on Facebook under Chase Merriman.
That's right. All right, guys. So we're going to let you guys go, and I want to thank everybody again for listening. Thank you, Taker.
Thank you, sir. You're the best.
Have a good night.